is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and listening to my channel. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I'm going to start asking my few fans to please do that. It would really mean a lot to me and it would help me grow. So if you have any interest in interacting with my channel in any way, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so this reading is stuck in a rut. This will help. And the rut can mean anything. It can mean like lightweight depression to just feeling a little off to feeling overwhelmed. Summer's funny. We can get busy. We can get, I don't know, we can just get stuck in a rut. It can mean so many different things, but I really hope this reading speaks to you for whatever it is that you might want some, I don't know, like motivation on. I think it's going to be interesting, even though I cannot like give you a hard sell on it right now. Just pick your crystal card, and these are like fairly nondescript, almost boring crystal cards. They look like stones that you would kick down the street. They're just made to be almost like confusing, you know, so pick the one that least speaks to you, and that, you know what, that's your rut card. So whatever feels right for you, just go with it. So please, I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to, I'm not going to hear from you, but I look forward to you clicking on a timestamp below and reading for you. So how's that? I will see you soon. Thank you. Goodbye. And thank you so much for being here and for letting me do this reading, which is Stuck in a Rut. This can help. Spirit can help. We're going to pull cards that are going to help. We're just going to help get you back on track, because really I think this reading is speaking to me right now. Like, I feel like I'm in a little bit of a rut. I feel like it's this gear up to summer, and it's, I don't know, there's just this, like, things are exciting and they're stagnant all at the same time, or I'm so busy, but then I'm not doing enough. There's just this like weird conflicted energy coming in all directions. So here we are. This is our reading. This stone that looks like, I don't know, any old stone, but it's probably something like super rare. Astrophyllite. I'm going to treat it just as like an aesthetic piece right now and not look into it, but this is your reading. That's really what we're here for. Okay, first we're gonna start with this one little like oracle card. This is it could be like a chakra card, it could be a mood, but I wanna see you right now in this card. Like, what's your dominant energy right now? And we're gonna open with this and then we'll go a bunch of places. So, magic. This is pretty positive. This is a very positive card. This is purple. It makes me think that we've got this like kind of third eye energy happening. This card right here, I don't know what your rut is. We just started this reading, but I will say this. You might be almost getting like a spiritual burnout. There might be something to say that maybe you hit the ground running so hard a month ago or 2 months ago or earlier this season, whatever season we're in, and you're now kind of burning out. Like, there was this intense, almost like, I don't know, spiritual download is a term that gets thrown around, but I feel like that's where you kind of like cross over into this next stage of like welcoming these different aspects of like spirituality into your life, or different ways of feeling things or processing things. And with that, you might get certain visions. You might have like more detailed or intense dreams. You might like feel more intensely towards someone. I just feel like there's a lot of emotion and feels that come at you. And I really think that you're probably overwhelmed. There's this sense of burnout. And I'm probably going to say that word way too many times, so bear with me. But that is the sense I'm getting. However, this rut might be, like, here's just like one direction. Let's say things were like really clicking for you 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, like in the near past, right? And you were just feeling yourself every day. You woke up, you were charged, you were stretching, you were meditating, you had all these great routines and rituals. And then let's say like you got too busy and you fell off. And now you're at a point where you're kind of realizing like that magic, that magic potion, that formula that I applied to every morning, that those habits, those rituals, like maybe I'm not doing them in the way that I was, and I can start to feel the effects of like slipping a little bit. That might be your rut, that you're just ever so slightly slipping. So I get that. I so get that. And it's not necessarily what someone would describe as a rut, but yet it is, because then you get into this cycle of like, you want to get back to those habits or those routines, and then you just you don't, or you wonder if maybe there's a better routine, so then you don't go back to the old one thinking, well, I'd like to do this instead, I'd like to try this, and then it becomes this like full-on period of kind of nothingness, which I hate to say, but I could see this being your rut, just this void of inspiration, and maybe looking back at a time when it felt like it was coming so quickly and swiftly and easily, and now you're just wondering what happened to that time frame. So I am going to get, okay, I'm going to do this Elemental Oracle deck, and I want to see like who you are now and who, I don't want to say who you need to be, because this is, you know, this is entertaining. So it's not for me to say who you need to be, but let's say like if you're fully, you know, if you're at your highest vibration, who do you need to be? So I want to see who you are now and who you need to be. These are all good cards. So there's no bad cards here. It's just, it's insight. It's insight from spirit. So who you are now, we've got the biome connection, and then who you need to be. Okay, we've got ice and purity. So these are, you know, jumping off points. The biome and connection is very much, this isn't, I mean, if anything, I'd like to see these the other way around, because this is a card of someone who's, well, for one, connected, who's, I don't know, like tapped into nature, who's making things happen. This is very much a card. This makes me think you're very busy, okay? I would say that your rut, and I did kind of, I think, gauge this, isn't that you're doing nothing. It's that you're doing so much you almost can't figure out what it is that you want to be doing now, or what you should be doing, or where your old habits of like manifesting or journaling or meditating, like, do they even apply to who you are now? I think you're kind of like in this new phase of your world where you liked a lot of what you were doing. It absolutely worked for you. You were very happy. Things were clicking. And now you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure what this next phase is. And yeah, I like that you landed here on this reading, if this tracks, because this is kind of a rut, even though from the outside people might think, oh my gosh, she's busier than ever. She's, you know, making more money than ever. Everything's great for her. She's got this relationship she's so happy in, you know, but that doesn't mean that you're not still kind of spinning in your downtime thinking like, how do I maintain this? How do I keep this up? How do I continue to work on myself and grow without getting lost in all the kind of like chaos? So I do think things are great for you now. And I think you're from a place of like production and even like health and wellness. I think you're everything's connecting. And I would say you are in so many ways in a great place. So I like seeing this card. And I think I asked where you need to be, which is a weird card or a weird question, and even a weirder card, if I'm being honest. We've got purity, and this is ice. I will say this though, ice to me is clarity. And although this is a very like melancholy scene on this card, I'm going to take it kind of literally to just draw a story here and see if this feels right. But I would say there's something you need clarity on. And okay, so I see this white, you know, what we can only assume is a stallion, right? Running through the snow and almost like looking at you and charging, or not charging, but let's say running towards you. There's something kind of like magical and very powerful. There's a power here. There's I do think there is something in your life, and this very much makes me think of like a male masculine energy, however you want to apply that, is something that you might need like a little bit of clarity on. There might be, I do think this has, okay, I'm going to say you just need clarity on a male energy. So I'm going to leave that hanging, and then we're going to turn over some more, our first, not more, for the very first time today. We're going to turn over some tarot and start to get into kind of your rut, and we'll go back to this and see where we're at, because I really have given you 3 vastly different messages, and you know, not every reading's perfect, but there's going to be something here for you to take away and work on, so bear with me. Okay, I want to see, what is your rut? If we just look at your rut, your space that you're holding right now in 3 cards, what are they? So we've got the Page of Pentacles. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, and the King of Cups. So I wouldn't call this a rut, but this is your energy. So I mean, the first two cards were Pentacles, and I do feel like Pentacles are it is a grounded energy. It is a card that makes me think of like work and home. And to see the Page of Pentacles, it's like, okay, you're starting, it's fairly cliche, but we are going to say you're starting something new, but not in this like brand new Ace of Pentacles, like, oh, there's this new exciting thing that's about to happen to you. It's not necessarily that. To me, this is like you are doing this new exciting thing, and it can be what you manifested. It could be this thing you've always wanted. And it does go back to this like biome card for you right now. You are in a very good place. And to even further that, even though not the original message I pulled here, we do have the Magic card for you. So I really think a lot is going very, very well in your world, but this might be the feeling of like, is the bottom going to drop out? Is, that, well, everything's so good and then the bottom falls out, or like when are things going to change? Things always, there's up and there's downs. Like maybe you just want to gauge the next kind of like season of what am I in for? Because it can't be this good forever. And I don't subscribe to that actually. However, my mind does work this way. So if I have felt like things have been super good for too long, I do tend to be like, okay, what's next? Because I can't, we are always changing. Everything's changing. So, okay, total side note on that. I think looking at these cards, because we asked what your rut is, less of a rut and more of like, you're busy, you're working hard. Page of Pentacles, you're in something right now. New location, new job, new venture, new family life, new boyfriend, new whatever, like something's new and it's good for you. It's something you've wanted. It's something you've worked towards. It's not by accident that you're here right now. Great. It's probably taking up a lot of your time, a lot of your energy, and probably a lot of your finances, but it's your trajectory right now. And that is exciting. Five of Pentacles is a little bit more of a card to make me think I don't think money is the problem for you, but maybe you're spending a lot of it. Maybe you're aware of the fact that like making more money, there's also more money that goes out, more money comes in, more money goes out. There's just something here. There's a little bit of like, you're just more aware of money than you ever were before. And it's weird to put like the money thing on this, but there's something about seeing these two Pentacle cards where I'm like, okay, there's something to do with money and work or home life. And then the King of Succulents, which is the King of Cups. These are house plant cards, in case you didn't gauge that already. The King of Cups, there's an emotional piece here. And obviously, cups are emotion. But the thing with the King of Cups it's almost like, I don't think it's overly emotional, but it's like you're comfortable. The king is always the master, right? That's the utmost. So if it's like the king of anything, it's going to be kind of like the mastery of that suit. But when I think of the king's fire. So that's passion, that's action. And then the cups are water, and that's the opposite. That's like, it's feeling things. It's things coming to you. So there's a yin and a yang energy, and then there are two elements that can like just extinguish the other, right? And I almost like there's this, like you don't know your emotions right now. Maybe you're in new territory emotionally. Maybe you're feeling things that are like very extreme. Maybe you're overly emotional. There is definitely something to do with the emotions here. And I really think this rut is creating this kind of, for you, your rut is that you've got a lot of great things happening. Things are clicking, but emotionally, there's something in your head that's like, everything isn't exactly perfect. Let's put it that way. And I don't know if these emotions, I don't know where they're coming from. It could have to do with a relationship. It could have to do with a partner. It could have to do with family or friends. But there's something like not every single aspect of your life is clicking. And there is an emotional piece that although it's a king card and it should imply that you've got this complete mastery on it, I'm seeing that this is where you're solid right now and this is where you're slipping. And I don't know, I go back to this card and I feel like, okay, you've got, it's like this is the world. You've got things, you're working the system. Like, you are doing great. You are doing you in so many ways. And I think you've worked very hard to get here. So good for you. But now you need this, this clarity on a partner or love. There's something here to make me think about love. And going back to, you know, why you're here, like, you're stuck in a rut. How can we help? I do think there's going to be something around clarity to help, but let's get some more tarot on this to see what is Spirit. I'm just going to ask for Spirit. I want a message from Spirit for you. Okay. And, you know, I talked a lot about a burnout in the beginning of this, because I do feel there's this burnout component, like you're doing too much. And I would say, to bring this full circle, like, you're working so hard, you're doing so well, that it is the emotional part, or you processing your emotions, or you communicating this part, like, you don't have enough energy for it. This is the part that's falling off. This is like, if there is a burnout because so much of your energy is going here, this is like the lack. And yeah, okay. Let me ask Spirit, what's input from Spirit on this? What's the guidance from Spirit? So we've got Knight of Pentacles, definitely the Pentacles, the Moon, and Knight of Flowering Pants. Wow, the Knights they're here for you. And okay. So the Knight of Pentacles is a card, of all the Knights, there's 4 of them, 1 for each suit. The Knight of Pentacles is like, it's a very stable energy. It is a kind of committed, follow through, non-hasty, very reliable, stable. It is someone who acts with purpose and intention. It is very much like, don't rush and don't be hasty. This is the Knight of Pentacles. However, this is in regards to Pentacles, not necessarily love. But I do think this might be a card of like, don't do anything big as far as like spending's concerned. Don't make any rash decisions about money or home or work. So I think stay the course on that. But the Knight of Flowering Pants, this is a card of passion. This is your Wands. This is the Knight of Wands. This is someone who is going to move quickly, who is going to like put forth all that passion and energy. And then we've got the Moon, which is just mystery and definitely like a divine element here. Definitely a kind of clairvoyance, this sort of elusive. There's a piece here that's very mysterious, but with a little bit of like metaphysical energy put into that. What does this mean for me? This means that in regards to work, so input from Spirit, in regards to work and money, hold tight. Like, work hard, do your thing. Don't necessarily change anything there. This card up here, the 5 of Pentacles, is a card of like, it's like a card of lack. So like I said, there's an awareness here about money going in, money coming out. So don't make any crazy decisions about money. I think you're fine in a standpoint of money and work, but I just see that it's on your mind more than it's ever been. And I do think that it is probably taking over your personal life in some ways, because now it's just this bigger aspect to your world. But when I see the Knight of Potted Trees, yeah, we're going to have you hold tight. We're going to have you just chill and put the pause button on like spending or anything like that. But when we see the Knight of Wands, I'm going to put this towards passion. This is a card of action. This is a card of communicating. This is a card of movement, of doing something. So this is either like putting yourself out there if you are single, being active in like some kind of dating and approaching someone and just, I don't know, kind of that, like, I don't care, I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk to this person. I'm going to go on this dating app, or I'm going to like put an active energy into dating. There's something here about like clearly amp up your efforts. If you're in a relationship or a dynamic of sorts, I think there's something that you can do, an effort you can put forth to really like bring that relationship to the next level, or at least to get some clarity there. And the clarity piece, with the moon card now, I do think to relieve some of this mystery, like somehow one aspect of your life is like shrouded in mystery. And that mysterious piece, I do think it has to do with love. And it comes off of this card, and then it comes off of the King of Succulents. And the whole big picture here to me is like, and I've said it before, so I'll say it again, but I do know that I sound like a broken record. I think from a money, home, work standpoint, you're killing it. I think you've worked very hard to get where you are. I think like I said, you've put your work in, whatever that is, whether it's like law of attraction and journaling and taking care of you and just in general working hard and doing all these things. You're there, but this other piece of your life has kind of fallen to the wayside. And I do think that if you feel like there's an unknown element to a relationship, you almost like stepping out of your comfort zone, you kind of amping things up a little bit and pushing yourself to communicate might be a way. It's just input from spirit. It might be a way to kind of get yourself out of this rut, because I do think your rut is coming from your emotions. And I know it really did. I mean, I don't know how many people watch my readings from start to finish. I really don't, but they generally come around full circle at some point, but it can take almost 20 minutes. And that last little piece, like, to me, that's a big message, because our ruts, our sadness, we don't always know where they stem from, or maybe we do, and we just want someone else to tell us. Like, it's kind of that piece, like, you know it, but you don't want to acknowledge that it's coming from this one little relationship piece. So this could be a question you need to ask, an action you need to do. Maybe you're always like wondering, what would this person do if I actually said that? What would they do if I actually did that? What if I just walked up to them and kissed them? What if I said, hey, I love you? Like, it's just that kind of a piece here. And I think this is going to like extinguish your rut that you're in. And again, your rut isn't like you're sitting on your couch and you can't get off. I think it's more of like, things in one aspect are moving so well and so efficiently, and then there's this other little piece that's just kind of stagnant, and it's like your two worlds are I don't know, one's vibrating really quick and one's like just not doing anything, and it's throwing things off for you. So and I really think you're someone that, you know what it feels like to have everything gelling. Like, you know that feeling, you know when you're off, and you know that you can get back to it. So yeah, if you're here watching this reading, you want to get back to it. You know everything I've said. I am going to wrap this up. I'm going to get like a quote card from Spirit, because I always love doing this. I find them incredibly entertaining. I don't know if anyone else does, but I'm going to do that, and then we are going to end this reading. And again, if you like this, subscribe, please, comment, like, whatever you feel moved to do. And I'm open to any constructive criticism as well. Okay, this is input from Spirit in a quote as to like, you know, how to help with this situation, this rut, if you will. And we've got seek hidden treasure. And with this card, it could mean something to anyone. This is why I like these cards. Like, who knows what this means to you, but there is something about this. Like, there's something that's right in front of you, kind of, that you don't realize or you don't see. And I think it's something that's just going to make you happy, whatever that is. Kind of like that feeling with you know, if you find a treasure, and by a treasure, I mean, you could find the freaking earring you lost in your house and you can't find, you know, you could find your favorite chips at the supermarket. Like, it can be anything, but it's that feeling you get when you're like, oh my God, I just found this. Oh, they have this here. Like, I can't believe I just discovered this. It's that feeling. And I do think there are, little gems of information or treasure that are in front of you, that will make you very happy. And I can't even begin to speculate what this is, but and I realize it is an incredibly vague thing that I said. That's like me just kind of reaching to interpret this card. But I think that there is something in front of you that is hidden, but it is like in your surroundings that is going to help make you happy, whatever that means. Okay, I hope you like this reading. I really do. Thank you for bearing with me and getting through this. And yeah, let's get you out of your rut. Let's have you do that one thing, say or do that one thing that I think does stem around romance or passion. And it's going to kind of ignite you, and you're going to feel ignited and lit and excited, and you're going to be all good. So, all right. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I hope to see you soon. Goodbye. Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. We are doing a reading for Stuck in a Rut. This will help. And I hope it does help. And first, I'm going to ask you, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, to subscribe if you're comfortable doing it, or think about it. If you like this reading, just hit that subscribe button. It really would mean everything. Or like, comment, whatever feels right. So thank you very much. Okay, pile 2. I'm going to first turn over your card and tell you what it is. Hematite. It's a metallic charcoal, and it looks like blood. And it is very interesting, actually. It does have that like this looks kind of alive and bubbling. It is very odd, but it's your card, it's your pile. Okay, before I turn this over, I'm just gonna say, for me, stuck in a rut is like things just aren't clicking. It could be anything from like kind of a mood, a lightweight depression, to just like being just stuck or uninspired. So I'm going to, get some insight from Spirit, turn over some cards, and see how we can help get you inspired. Okay, so sweetness. And then we have the love here. So it is funny, the last card did have a heavy love component to it, and I'm going to say this does for me too. There's something just right out the gates that makes me think your rut has something to do with love. It has something to do with like either not getting or feeling enough of like a connection, either from one person in particular or just a connection period. But something tells me there's a little bit of like a lack there that might be just wearing on you in some way and hindering whatever sense of like motivation or whatever this rut feels like to you. So I'm going to get these 2 elemental cards. They're kind of like personality cards. And I'm going to do one for where you are now, and then the other one for where you should be. And by that, I mean like if everything in your life is just super high vibration and you're exactly where you need to be, what will this card look like? So let's see where you are now. And this is Bravery, Oceans. And where you need to be, we've got the rock, endurance. So for where you are now, for oceans and bravery, it does make me think of like a slightly uncharted territory, feeling like maybe you are, I can dig and say like that feeling of being like kind of out to sea. You're a little bit lost. You're not really being guided. Maybe you're just kind of winging it. There's a sense of, and the bravery aspect makes me think like you are just kind of hanging yourself out there. Like, is this going to work? I'm here for the challenge. I don't think this is like necessarily an unhappy place to be, but it's one of those energies that I think it's hard to maintain for too long without kind of getting into a rut. And again, a rut can be whatever that is that makes you feel just ever so slightly icky. Just that little bit of like, oh, I just want to feel a little bit better. I want to be more just ignited and alive feeling. So this could absolutely be like a wayward feeling. Sorry. Oh my God, sorry. I thought that was a bug that just freaked me out. It was a cord. Whew. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay, so this could absolutely be something to do with like fear or, I totally lost my train of thought. Give me 2 seconds. That like made my heart stop. Okay, something to do with love, something where you are wanting clarity, you're wanting an answer, and I think, being brave, being scared, being unsure, it can be a motivating factor for a certain amount of time, but then you really need more. And I guess when I ask like where you should be, this card, I think you do very well when things are predictable. You like a stable energy. I'm not going to say you don't like change, because I don't want you to think that that's like a boring brush to be painted with, but something tells me that you're an analytical kind of type A person. You like knowing outcomes. You predict outcomes. Your life is a little bit like a spreadsheet. Like, you know your finances, if you do this is going to happen, cause and effect. Like, so I do think where you are from a relationship or romantic standpoint is leaving you feeling a little lost and ever so slightly like scared or fearful or just kind of lost. Okay, let me see. I'm going to ask Spirit to kind of describe this rut you're in, just so we see it in 3 cards. And let's see her take on this situation you're in. Okay, so we've got 7 of Wands, which isn't a bad card at all. 7 of Pentacles and 2 of Wands. Okay. So the 2 of Wands it's not necessarily a card of romance. It's a card of like, I feel like planning and preparing and like really, how are you going to take action? What are you going to do? What's the plan here? And the 7 of Pentacles is that hard work. Okay, so I'm trying to think, and then with the 7 of Wands, this is also a good card of like, kind of just figuring it out, like really assessing what do you need, what ground do you want to stand, what do you want to abandon, like what's needed, where can you trim the fat. So you're either in a relationship that is quite confusing, and then it really might not be giving you what you need. And I will say this, my relationships, I feel like they're not mostly, or my readings, they're not mostly about relationships. Like, I don't know, I like readings on relationships quite a bit, but I don't always get this overwhelming message that something's about a relationship. But I do like the sweetness card, and then the message I got from here, I really do feel like there is something about an action taken that needs to be given to a relationship that just isn't, it's leaving you feeling stuck. And I really think it has something to do, not necessarily with confidence, but with like a sense of an unknown. You're kind of out of your element. Like your element is a place of like feeling stable and secure and strong. And you're just like, you're kind of winging it right now. Like it's uncharted territory. It's rough waters. It's whatever these 2 cards like visually bring to you, this, where you are right now, and you're doing it. Like you are doing it. You are navigating it. You're hanging in there. Like you're not underwater, but I just think it's a bit much with you, or it's a bit much for you. And this is creating that sense of like, what now? Where do I go? What do I do? How much energy am I going to continue to put into this? I just feel like now there's a lot of question marks, but I do feel like your rut is stemming from something to do with love. And this Pentacles card, although that is usually a card of like home and money and all that, I think what I'm getting from this is you've invested a lot into this relationship. There's been a lot put into it. And at this point, you probably thought you'd have more answers, more clarity, more whatever. So yeah, let's see. Okay, so I want input from Spirit. Like what is some direction from Spirit? How is she going to direct you? Let's see what she has to say here. So she's got Knight. This came up in the last one too. Knight of Wands, 3 of Wands. Okay, and King of Cups. Okay, so something about like really, really tapping into your emotions, really emotionally like expressing yourself, feeling yourself, like really getting into like that emotional piece, which might be hard. I think this is something you need to do. The 3 of Wands to me, this is like, I feel like this is, I want to say like foresight. It's contemplating, it's thinking, it's like coming up with a game plan to me. It's looking out and really evaluating like, what do I want and how do I want to do this? This to me is like, get your game plan ready. And even the 7 of Flowering Plants has a little bit of that energy to me where it's like, what exactly do you want? What serves you? What are you gearing up for? Like in a perfect world, if you felt as stable as you wanted to be, what would that look like? And all of this is like, this isn't really a love reading. This is how to get you out of your rut. But I do think your rut is stemming from this, like, you just don't feel grounded right now. You feel very much like things are too fluid. And I really think there's like a lack of like earth energy for you right now. You know what that means? I don't even really, I mean, I know what it means in some ways, but to say it out loud, it sounds like, okay, what's my lack of earth energy? But to me, that earth energy is like that very, very stable, secure, grounded piece. And it's like that, you know exactly where you stand. And in this case, it's probably more metaphorically, like, where do you stand with this person? What is it? Like, what's the foundation? Where do you guys sit? Where do you stand? And this aspect is it's you just feel out of control right now. And the Knight of Flowering Plants, the Knight of Wands, this generally, there's this element of like haste, this kind of rushing in, this like rushing into battle, like quickly diving into things. But for me, this is a card of, in this reading and this like input from spirit on how to get out of this rut and how to communicate this and how to like figure out what this piece is that you actually need. I don't want you to rush into this. I do want you to like attack this issue. I want you to go after it, but I don't want there to be a rush. I want this to be something that you really think through so that when it's done, you don't ever feel like you have to go back and revisit it. I want it to be like all the planning and the foresight and the energy. I want that to stick. That is a little bit of that Three of Wands energy. So although I do want this problem solved for you and I do want you to address it and quite frankly attack it, don't rush it. And I really think that doing this rut that you're in, this space that you're holding that's kind of like stagnant and a little bit too much like yesterday and the day before, this will change things. It'll show you like what you're capable of and what you can do and what you're not afraid of. And it'll open your eyes to things. And I think moving forward, it's going to not only, and it might give you exactly the answer you want. I mean, I'm not telling you to do this so that you can get the bad answer and move on with your life. Like, not at all. This might show you everything you've been hoping for, but either way, it'll change your existence, it'll change your state, and you'll be in a new mental state. You'll be in a new space. You'll be in a new place. Like, this is going to switch everything up, and this is the opposite of being in a rut. So yeah, whatever you can do to like really put yourself out there and get clarity and just go for it is what you need to do. Okay, I'm gonna turn over. I'm trying to think how do I want to embellish this? I think I'm just going to get a quote card and wrap it up, because I think this message was pretty straightforward and I don't want to talk it to death, because I can do that. So let's get from spirit. This is input from spirit. It's a quote. It's, just help on your situation, and just, this is for your situation. And we've got begin to explore, and I'm going to turn over another one. Refine your attention. So the begin to explore piece to me is, I get this in I don't know, with Paris in the background and this couple dancing or whatever. I do think for you, maybe too much emphasis has been placed on this component of love, right? Like, this rut that you're in, the fact that it does have to do with that someone else has put you here is a lot. Very, very human and normal, but still it is a lot. So I think the message here is begin to explore other things moving forward that are going to make you happy and make you feel very complete and very satisfied and very challenged and engaged. I think there is definitely a message of that. And to me, refine your attention. It's this, I get feelings on cards, so it's not word for word exactly how this translates, but to me, this is be cognizant of how much time you give to any one thing. So if you're working all the time and that's taking up 90% of your world, be careful about that. If one person, is taking up that much of your time and energy, be very, very aware of that as well. I really think this is just a gentle message of don't not only don't put all your eggs in one basket, it kind of has that feeling to it, but it is a, yeah, don't like put all your happiness on one outcome or one person or one like piece or facet of your world or your life. Cause I think there's a lot that can be going on for you and a lot of exciting things could be happening. But I do get this in these cards, everything is kind of about love and relationships, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I think if that's why you're in this rut, you're going to have to find other things to come into the picture to just divert your attention and your focus. So that is where I get the refine your attention card. I'm going to end this reading now. It wasn't a very long one, but I hope it was a good one. And it's funny, I haven't asked people to subscribe in a while, and I feel like I just asked on a, like, not one of my best readings. But a reading on the same, a message on the same. Spirit gave her input, so thank you. Like, I don't want to downplay it. There's definitely a message here, but I really hope it resonated and that you got something out of it. So if you did, let me know. I would love to hear it. But thank you so much for being here and for watching, and I will let you go, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Goodbye, Tarot. You are pile 3. Thank you so much for being here and for letting me read for you. The title of our reading is Stuck in a Rut, which can mean so many things. I will get into that, but you picked, I think the prettiest and most interesting card in all 3. So yeah, I feel like everyone would be drawn to this card. Rhodonite. Sorry. Yeah, it looks like strawberry chip ice cream to me. It's very pleasing. So it was a nice change of the kind of redundancy of all those cards. But yeah, I do feel like being in a rut, there's a redundancy, whether that's a redundancy of like boredom, of, I don't know, like just blah, like yeah, it's like a slump kind of. So I'm going to get you in a card right now, and we've got stop. So stop can mean so many things. It is red. It does make me think of the root chakra. It does make me think, I don't know, maybe you need to slow down. Maybe you need to like stop something that you're doing, because this card is so like, it's such an intense message. I wouldn't even know how to begin to interpret it without naming 100 things that you could stop doing, like stop drinking so much, stop staying up so late, stop, I don't know, like taking 5 showers a day. But like, I don't know what you need to stop, but it is a very clear message. And I'm going to move it over here, and we're going to try to figure out what this rut is for you. What do you need to stop, and like, how is that maybe going to free up your time, your energy, your resources? There's something that I think is not aiding you or like helping you, and if anything, it might be like, I don't know, weighing you down, like this kind of dead weight sense. Let's see where we're at. I am going to ask you to please subscribe if it's something you haven't done to my channel. Please do. It would mean a lot. And if you have a comment, if you want to like this video, any way you can interact would be huge. So yeah, you can hit that subscribe button anytime if you haven't. And you can always unsubscribe. This is not like you sign this for life kind of contract. You can unsubscribe at the end of the video if you don't like it, but please don't do that either. Okay, I want to see your current situation in 3 cards, so we can figure out kind of this rut and how we're going to help you get out of it. Because hopefully by the end of this reading, you've got some solid insight. So, okay, you in 3 cards. We've got the Tower, which is all about crashing and burning. The Wheel of Fortune, wow. And the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. I love the 9 of Pentacles. I actually love all these cards, to be honest, but it's just one of those readings that actually has a very clear message, which I love. It makes it easier for me. 9 of Pentacles. This to me is like, this is a card of someone who works hard, has beautiful things, enjoys the material aspects of life. There's a little bit of a materialism put on this card, but in a good way, like, good for you. You've earned it. This is why you work, so you can buy the things you like. The Tower is very much like new beginnings. It is that like, let it crash and burn. If it doesn't suit you, be done with it. And this to me is like, the Tower card in this place is, it's empowering. It is absolutely an energy of like, I think there's something in your world that you are either about to cut loose or cut free, or you want to and you're thinking on it, and that would be like the stop piece. But there is something you need to stop, and something tells me you haven't stopped it yet. So this, I mean, to give an example, the Tower could be like, this job is killing you. You need to stop. This partner is actually toxic. This isn't, this relationship isn't going anywhere. This habit you have is like, it's really unhealthy. And then it can go, those were situations that didn't even have to do with your health. And then I could come up with different situations that might be like negatively affecting your health or your mental state or whatever. So, but those are just examples, but I really do think something's got to stop. And the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like this is that card to say, look, if you stop this, anything can happen. Like, yes, you'll absolutely be out of your rut because you're going to be in this like kind of excited, like uncharted territory. I really think that this is a card of like, if you're someone who likes change, if you're someone who likes excitement, if you're going to find yourself like back to being ignited, meaning you won't be in this rut anymore. And I think for you, a rut comes from like things feeling stagnant, it's like a lack of inspiration. And so if there's something you have to stop, you're probably doing this out of boredom, or I don't even think it's fear. I think it's more of like just this blasé state you find yourself in. And so there's kind of like a vice or crutch that you go to help get over it or just move through things easier or quicker. And it just winds up, it always wins in the end. It's never really the answer. Okay, so I'm trying to think what cards I want to pull over. Okay, I want to see you right now in 3 cards, like just your vibe, your energy. This was kind of like your rut, but I want to see you. I just, it's kind of the same question, but it's different to me. Okay, the 2 of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the Hermit. Okay. So you are, just from the Hermit card and right away from the Hermit card, you like answers, you like having knowledge. I do think you're more of like an old soul, kind of quiet person. And the Hermit, to me, it is that person that can handle being alone and sitting on their couch every night and watching a TV show and like eating a meal on the couch and being very happy. I mean, eventually you're going to want more of something or less of something, but you really are, you're happy when you're in your own space. You don't mind being in your head. And I think you really get a lot out of this. This is like your alone time is a very like soothing experience for you. So, okay. And then 2 of Wands, I think there is this, you're thinking on things. You are starting to, something has to stop. The Tower is that card of like, what is going to happen? What action is literally going to like, I don't want to say befall you because that makes it sound bad, but like what is going to happen that is going to affect your life? And in this case, I think in all cases, but in a good way, in a very like change is good, change is needed. You're inviting this into your world kind of way. And Ace of Cacti, you're thinking about this. This is, the Hermit gives you time to contemplate. And then the Ace of Wands to me, or Swords, is very much that card of like, this is something you need. This is going to behoove you. This is good for you. This is going to be healing. This is going to be positive. This is what you need and want. And you've thought about this. You have put effort and work and energy toward this. So I think right now, if someone were to look at you or hang out with you or even date you, they probably wouldn't know that you even are in a rut or that you even have this piece going on, because I think things look very, very good. And I think your life is actually very, very good. I think you're very sharp. You have all the things you need, all the trappings of a beautiful life. I think you're healthy. I think you're happy. I think you have great clothes. I think just like all those materialistic kind of surface things, I think you've got them. So I don't fear for you in that way. Like, oh, don't have enough money, or you aren't like, I think you have the money to take care of yourself. I don't think that's the root of your problem. Something else is getting to you, and you're doing something else that is causing this, essentially this rut that needs to be shook up and kind of released. Like you have to release something that you're, that's kind of overtaking you a little bit. These are fun cards. I actually haven't used these yet at all in today's reading, but all three of these readings have gone in a kind of different direction where I'm, I just feel comfortable pulling two of these. And I want to see something that you might not even realize that might help you, kind of expel this piece. So let's see. And, we'll see. These aren't going to, let's see. Okay, we've got family and we've got use your hands. So, family is a pretty straightforward message. There's someone or some people who love and support you, who you love and support. This is very much, this is a non-hermit energy, because to me, the hermit is, if they have a question or they have a need, they really look within for it. They go in for their information and their guidance. And I like that. I like that about you. But this is a message of like, in this situation, to get some clarity, to figure out how you're going to get rid of something. I do think there's a family piece here, and this can be close friends, this can be one person, this can be 10 people, but it is a pretty good message of seek some guidance from people that you love and trust, and who have your best interests in mind. So they're there for you, whether you need support or input. They're there for you. And use your hands. My dog just walked into the room. That's that noise. I think this is another outlet for your energy and your expression. So I do love the example of pottery here, because that is something, like, I don't do pottery, but I would love to try it. And I think like just creating something with your hands like that you could like put on your table or drink coffee out of would be amazing. So I don't know, this could be knitting, it could be like beading, it could be tarot, but like something where baking, oh my goodness, gardening, there's so many examples, right? But I do think there's like a creative expression, just another outlet for your energy. You might be one of those anxious people that like picks or like constantly shakes their foot or like can't sit still. Like almost this ADD energy could come off of you, which can lead to some problematic, habits and rituals and habits that don't actually serve you. So your rut is coming from, I think there's a lack of you doing almost anything that suits you creatively. I think you really need to get back to that. That's going to be a piece of inspiration that's going to give you a lot more than you even realized. And I think the fact that it's even missing is something that maybe you've been sensing it, but you didn't even realize like how much that would make you happy. And even like maybe talking to your family or friends in this case, they would be like, oh my God, remember how you used to like, I don't know, knit those sweaters or those beanies, or remember how you used to like always bake those cakes, and you're like, I didn't even realize that. Now I just sit on my couch and drink all night. Like, I don't know what your vice is or the thing you have to drop, but it is something. And, and I do think, I'm just going back to the hermit, I do think it is something you do when you're alone. And I think it's something I think it's something that makes you feel better. You have a lot of thoughts, you can spin out of control. And this is definitely something that brings you, it chills you out, but it doesn't actually serve you. And you will be out of this rut when you actually stop doing it. Because I don't think you'll beat yourself up. I don't think you'll think so much about it. I don't think you'll say like, oh my God, this stops tonight, diet starts tomorrow, whatever it is. Like those kind of messages that just, they're always like putting something off. I think you're going to be able to actually do something different. And these aren't very long readings. It's funny. I don't really know what else to say, because I feel like there's a pretty strong message here, a very specific message. Let's put it that way. I am going to get some of these fun quote cards from Spirit, and maybe it'll provide some input. We'll see. So let's see what we get out of this. Okay, so this is what Spirit says. She says, focus on success. Great, love that. And speak up. Okay, so the focus on success, I do like, and this is also a what makes you happy? Like, what makes you feel good? What makes you feel like you're clicking and things are just really like working out as they should for you? That to me is like the success piece here. Like, what do you want? What do you want more of in your life? And to get that, you're going to have to stop this one thing, whatever it is. Yeah, and to speak up, I don't really know. I don't know, like this is one of those funny random messages that I couldn't begin to speculate on, but this is a message all the same. So if speak up speaks to you in any way, yeah, and maybe this thing that you stop, this pattern, this habit, this vice, whatever it is, maybe it is something that you're going to enjoy talking to your friends about. Maybe you can help other people, even if it's just one friend who's kind of going through the same thing or doing the same thing, or I don't know, it can also coming out of your rut might be spending more time with people. So your rut might be that you're actually a little like isolating yourself a little bit too much, possibly like we said, as a result of this thing in your life. So stopping this might really put you in front of more friends, more interaction, more love, kindness, caring, caressing, whatever. And it will allow you to like just talk to other people. I don't know. That's what I get out of that. But I hope you liked this reading. I hope you got something out of it. You know what? Let me know either way. I would love to hear it. It's a comment all the same and I'll take it. But yeah, I hope you liked it. And if you did, then please do subscribe. And if not, I mean, either way, give me another chance. I do a reading every other day. Some are like just bang on and really amazing. And some are kind of like out there. I feel like this one was kind of out there, but it's still your reading and it's still a message from spirit. So yeah, take it for what it is. Okay, I really enjoyed talking to you and thank you so much. And I hope to talk to you or read for you again soon. Thank you. Goodbye. Hi, this is Light and Bone Tarot, and thank you so much for letting me read for you. Okay, we are doing a reading for Stuck in a Rut. This will help. I certainly hope it will help. Yeah, and if you are stuck in a rut, I mean, I feel you. I think I'm probably doing this reading purely because I feel stuck in a rut. There's just, we go through phases, and ruts they can start out small, they can grow into something bigger, they can come and go, they can pass. I don't know, but they are a temporary moment of kind of like, like there's just this something where you're like, I just want this to end. Anyway, so let's say you're in a rut and you want some insight on it. That's why we're here. I know that this card is meteorite, which underwhelming to look at, but really amazing to behold. I would not know a meteorite if it was like, if my yard was filled with them, but they are literally from, they're rocks flung from space. So parts of planets, I don't know, stars, who knows? But yes, very amazing. So you picked a special one. And okay, here you are. Here's your mood. Here's your rut. What are you? Anxiety. Okay, this is, of all the three cards that I pulled, this is a very, very clear message. And this card makes me think of ick. It makes me think like your rut is stress related, it's anxious, it is, yeah, I mean, sorry to say it, but like this putrid green color is very, I don't know, I think you're being affected. I think really your rut is like consuming you and maybe even like affecting your health in a very mild way. As in, maybe it's affecting your gut health or it's making you very tired or lethargic. We need to get you out of this rut. So I want to see your rut that you are feeling like you're in. What is this all about? What's it stemming from? What is this? Yeah, let me see if I can kind of determine this in a few cards and we'll go from there. So, okay. 8 of Wands. Knight of Wands, this is the 4th reading and it's come up on every single one. Okay, 7 of Wands. Let me see here. So and this is a weird and very direct message, so bear with me, but it's almost like I'm seeing from these cards that you rushed into something that you really, really, really thought you wanted. And now for whatever reason, you either don't love it, it's not serving you, it's not what you wanted, or it's just not what you expected. I do think you're stuck with it. And I don't think that it's necessarily something that like you have to get out of your life. I think you just have to learn how to deal with it. I'm not seeing this message of like, oh my God, you know, find a way to, like, this isn't the toxic boyfriend necessarily. It's not that, because that would be someone that you would eventually want to move on from and work around and get rid of. But no, this is something that like I think you jumped into and you wanted very badly at the time. You probably didn't think it through completely, and now you're in it. And this absolutely could be a relationship. It could be a person. It could be a home. It could be a move. It could be a job. It could have been leaving a job. Like, it's just something that you really wanted that you did. So yeah, it does absolutely feel like an action, like something, the passion piece of the wands, like something you wanted. And you at the time really wanted it. It was almost foolproof. And so, but now it is absolutely the cause of your stress. And this stress is now a rut. So I don't know what your regret, it's almost like your rut is tied up in regret. Like you're regretting something, which is really very shitty and something we're going to have to find a solution to, or at least a course of action, because I do think regret is, if it starts out as a rut, it can leave as something much worse. So if you're still in the rut stage and it's just now making you anxious, let's try to find a way out of this regret. So, and I'm going to not say regret again, because I'm going to try not to, because it is just a nasty word that I don't even want to put a stamp on for you, because maybe you never even thought of it that way. And it's like, oh, but the thing is, you are where you are, and it is what it is. I mean, that's another one, right? Like, this is your path. You chose it. You made this happen. So you are going to have to find a way to embrace it and find the silver lining or the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, there's something here for you. So actually, I'm just going to ask, let's find that silver lining. Like, what is here for you actually that you might not see? So we've got Two of Wands, the Empress, which I really love. Okay. And the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so the Empress card, there's good here. There's something very good that's going to come of this. This is going to lead, I think, to you feeling this abundance. It's going to lead to a sense of accomplishment, whatever that is, whether it literally translates to more money, more this, more that, something good is going to come of this, and you are going to feel very fulfilled, and that's probably not too far away as soon as you embrace this, as soon as you drop the like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened, or I did this, or this is where I'm at, or this is my place right now, because I don't think there's much you can do about it except find a way to probably embrace it and maybe make it a little bit better, but I do think this is your rut. Your rut is your anxiety. Okay. Four of Pentacles is definitely a card of like holding strong. It's scrimping, it's saving, it's budgeting. It's almost like this fear of expelling any resource, be it energy, money, love. You're just like, you just don't know which way to turn, so you don't do anything. It's not a great energy. So you probably don't know what to do. Right now, you feel stuck. I think you probably feel stuck. It's not a great feeling. But I think that if you can stick this out, if you can get through this, if you can start to see the unstuck part here, if you can feel unstuck, if you can evaluate your situation a little bit differently and maybe attack it with a little bit more like, okay, if I do this, then maybe this can happen. If I treat this differently, then maybe this will be a different outcome. Like, just kind of look at it from a more analytical, kind of like project-based standpoint. I think some good things can come your way. And I do. Right now, you just feel very like out of control and consumed by this, but it will, if you don't allow yourself to feel so victimized, I think you can swap it around. And, you know, you may not love every detail of the situation. And again, I don't know if this is a relationship, a move, a job, a place, a diet, I have no idea, life plan, like I don't know, but you can work with it. You can manipulate it. This can be manipulated, your situation. And it will free up it will make you feel less stuck, and it will actually work for you. There's a lot of happiness and abundance. There's a lot of abundance in this card from different angles. There's the abundance of like actual, I think like money and riches. Okay. But there's also an abundance of health. There's health. There's that happiness, that richness, that like, fertility, that kind of like sensuality. There's all these rich, plush abundances that are here for you and your situation. And that will absolutely get you out of your rut, and you'll feel better about things. So I already like the direction this is going. And I want to see, I didn't do these cards for you, which is funny because I did them for everyone else. But I want to see, once you get moving on things, what this is going to feel like what energy you're going to hold, what's your space, I don't know, like your vibration, where are you going to be? So this is the second time I've asked this question and gotten a card of like someone like passed out in the snow. And I gotta say, it's not exciting. It's not where you're like, that's not where I saw my energy going, but it is calm, okay? It is literally the opposite of anxiety, okay? It's not shouting from the rooftops, you know, it's not like you're not on a hut in Bora Bora, but you are calm, you are serene, you are in clarity. So this is the opposite of anxiety in a different deck, okay? Just take it for what it is. There is an absolute purity here and just a cleanliness, and you will feel whatever this ick that's kind of following you around right now, it will be lifted and you will be happy. And this is a place of, I mean, there's beauty and happiness here. And although the Empress looks alert, she doesn't look like she passed out in the snow. This woman does, but that's okay. I can live with this for you right now. I think it's a good omen, okay? It's a nice direction, so we'll take it. Okay, what can you do? Because I don't want to ask direct questions like, what did you rush into? I don't necessarily want to ask that, but I do want to see, like, I do want to get you some information on getting out of this rut, because I do think that's important. So let me get, like, what's an energy? What's a space you can hold? Like, what's some guidance, some input from spirit? I know I'm going to have to move these up, so I'm going to do that. And let's see what she has to say about that. So we have the Ten of Swords, which is a rough card. The High Priestess. And the Five of Wands. Okay, this is this is intense. This is basically like, in a word, conflict, defeat, and like mystery. Input from spirit. What is she trying to say? Oh my God, I don't know. This is a question I never wish I asked. Okay, but we're here to, let's say there really can't be bad answers here because we asked for help. We asked for input. I think that's what I asked for, at least. And now we got these cards. So I do think you can learn from your mistakes here. I think this really is a message of like the pain, the bitterness, the regret, the whatever. Learn from it, pull from it, really think about it, think on exactly how you feel, and just somehow use that. Don't be afraid of it. And you know, the anxiousness, I feel like the anxiousness is like, anxiety is like when you kind of spin and you're out of control with that. But I do think there's a message here, like, just process things differently, work through things. And I think that's going to help your anxiety. And that conflict. So the mind, I think this is the conflict within your mind, or you're conflicted about what to do. Actually, I see that more as like, you don't know what action to take. I'm going to turn to the High Priestess card here and say, the action you should take is, you actually do know. It's in you. I think if you allow your mind to go through these revelations of like, where you think you messed up, why you think you're here right now, what you don't like about your situation, what you would change, and why you're in this rut, I think you're going to get some answers maybe how to feel better, how to deal with it, because maybe you can't actually change things right now. Like this is your decision. You really wanted it, and here you are. But I do think that you're going to get lifted out of this state, and you are going to feel better for it, and you're going to feel clearer, and you're going to feel happier. But you do have to go through, you have to get into your feels a little bit and really just acknowledge why you feel conflicted, and just be very, very honest with yourself. You know, you don't necessarily have to be very honest with anyone else, but you do have to be honest with yourself. So when you go through this kind of torturous, when you look back on something, what's the word? Oh my gosh, I don't know. It's totally escaping me. But when you look back on this, then yes, be very honest about why you wanted this so bad, and why you are where you are now, and why you feel the way you feel. And I mean, this is just the message I'm getting in the cards. It's not a very exciting message, and it definitely isn't like a full-blown blueprint for how to handle this. But I do think there's going to be something, there's a message here in acknowledging something and sitting with it and not being afraid of it and not running from it. And there is also the message of like, you are going to be happy, you're going to be fine. And this is a rut. This isn't going to turn into like this living, breathing parasite. You know, this is just, it's a rut. You're going to get out of it. You're fine. And you are going to be very happy in the end of this. There's definitely this clarity coming your way and this peace. So you are going to get a good night's sleep. It is going to happen, and you're going to keep feeling better, and you're going to heal. And, you know, you might even come full circle and completely love your situation again, which makes me want to turn over a card and get like the Wheel of Fortune or the World, or even the Death card would be like, yes, there's going to be a rebirth here. So I am going to get two more cards to see what your near future looks like. And let's see if any of those come up, because I think that would be super validating on my part, but also good for you. And you know what, maybe the complete opposite comes up, and that's okay too. But let's get some, just what's on the horizon for you. What's your near future look like? And we've got the Six of Swords, which is good. Okay. And the Three of Swords. So there is a lot of thought here, but the Six of Swords is actually a card of like change in a good way. It's leaving your baggage behind. It is going somewhere new. It is going to like a more stable situation, a situation that better suits you. In the Rider-Waite-Smith, it's like taking a little boat to smoother waters, and there's like a rainbow or something. Like, it is definitely better things are coming your way, and you just have to, I think this really is approaching your situation differently, thinking about things from a more positive angle, and just really like trying very hard and actively to be more positive. And the Three of Swords is, oh, that's heartbreak. That's interesting. I forgot about the Three of Swords. I have not seen this card come up in any deck, actually, like period, for a long time. Okay, so I don't think heartbreak's coming your way, because that is not, that's not the message I'm getting here. But something like you're going to have to acknowledge. I just think this comes back to like, you're going to acknowledge something. And look, this heartbreak, this isn't a card of, I just want to make this better for you, because I said the word heartbreak because that's like the generic term given to it. But I think a part of this is going to hurt. I think this is a growing process for you. There's a huge takeaway here. There's a huge growth opportunity, and it's going to reveal to you something that you want and don't want. And I hope this makes sense. And I hope that when you do this, it doesn't hurt, but it's insightful. It's just a part of your life, because really your ending here is very, very happy. There's a lot of clarity, and you are miles away from not liking any aspect of any part of your life. So yeah, I hope I didn't get too deep or too off topic here, because I see the message. I think things are going to be absolutely fine for you, and this rut is going to lift, and you are going to feel so much better and so much just kind of enlightened. And again, I go back to this first thing. You really wanted this. So you got what you wanted. You whether you manifested it, whether you worked hard, you put the wheels in motion, you intentionally got what you wanted. And that's a really powerful thing. So you can get what you want over and over again. You can do this. You know how to do it. You have the tools, you have the power. you have the mind, the body, the health, whatever. So, yeah, just know that getting what you want is there for you. You just really have to actively pursue it and go after it. Okay, input from spirit and a quote. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. Nurture yourself first. So yeah, take care of yourself. I don't know. I see this in the way of like eating well, not drinking too much, not partying too much, and really trying to sleep. Definitely trying to get your sleep. Don't stay up too late. Don't let your mind wander. I don't know if you need to get like a meditation app or start doing things to just calm your mind. This is the message here of nurture yourself first. Find your peace and really try to make peace with yourself and your situation. So I'm going to leave it there. This whole reading, this stuck in a rut, I really want to do this again and hopefully get better at it. But this was an interesting topic and I hope you liked it, and I hope you subscribe or comment or do whatever feels right in that regard. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.